Good Monday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, it's a brand new day, it's a brand new week, and we're saying goodbye, can you believe it, to the month of April this week. What an extraordinary year this has been so far. What a great month it's been. I hope you guys have had a great one. I know I have. For today, we of course have your news headlines coming up. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you're being part of my conversation with recording artist Brianna Barnes. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Monday headlines. In international news, virus swallowing people in India, crematoriums overwhelmed. With life-saving oxygen in short supply, family members in India are left on their own to ferry coronavirus patients from hospital to hospital in search of treatment as the country is engulfed in a devastating new surge of infections. Too often, their efforts end in mourning. The stories are told on social media and in television footage showing desperate relatives pleading for oxygen outside of hospitals or weeping in the street for loved ones who died waiting for treatment. One woman mourned the death of her younger brother, aged 50. He was turned away by two hospitals and died waiting to be seen at a third, gasping after his oxygen tank ran out and no replacements were on hand. She blamed the Prime Minister's government for the crisis. For the fourth straight day, India on Sunday set a global daily record of new coronavirus infections, spurred by an insidious new variant that emerged here. The surge has undermined the government's premature claims of victory over the pandemic. The 349,691 confirmed infections over the past day brought India's total to more than 16 million cases, behind only the United States. The health ministry reported another 2,700 deaths in the past 24 hours, pushing India's fatalities to 102,311. Experts say this toll could be a huge undercount, as suspected cases are not included, and many COVID-19 deaths are being attributed to underlying conditions. The unfolding crisis is most visceral in India's overwhelmed graveyards and crematoriums, and in heartbreaking images of gasping patients dying on their way to hospitals due to lack of oxygen. In national news, the Associated Press says more action, less talk distinguished Biden's 100-day sprint. The card tucked in President Joe Biden's right jacket pocket must weigh a ton. You can see the weight of it on his face when he digs it out, squints, and ever so slowly reads aloud the latest tally of COVID-19 dead. Sometimes he stumbles on a digit. After all, flubs come with the man. But the message is always clear. The toll of the virus weighs on him constantly, a millstone that helps explain why the politician with the megawatt smile has often seemed downright dour. For any new leader, a lingering pandemic that has killed more than 500,000 citizens will be plenty for a first 100 days. But it has been far from the sole preoccupation for the now 78-year-old Biden. The oldest person ever elected president is tugging the United States in many new directions at once, right down to its literal foundations, the concrete of its neglected bridges, as well as the racial inequities and partisan poisons tearing at the civil society. Add to that list a call for dramatic action to combat climate change. He's doing it without the abrasive noise of the last president or the charisma of the last two. Biden's spontaneity, once a hallmark and sometimes a headache, is rarely seen. Some say he is a leader for this time. More action, less talk, and something for the history books. Biden's first months in office, says the Associated Press, were in many ways a rejection of what came before. In more national news, Florida resumes Johnson & Johnson vaccination shots. Shots using the Johnson & Johnson vaccine resumed Sunday at federally supported mass vaccination sites throughout Florida, state emergency officials said. The Florida Division of Emergency Management tweeted that it was resuming the Johnson & Johnson shots at the vaccination sites in Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, and Miami after reviewing guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Food and Drug Administration. The federal agencies on Friday called for the 11-day pause on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to be lifted after federal regulators reviewed data on blood clots and assessed risk associated with the vaccine. Out of nearly 8 million people who received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, 15 women developed these blood clots. Johnson & Johnson vaccine providers will now provide information about the risk and information about symptoms to watch for after vaccination. And finally, in entertainment news, Mortal Kombat Demon Slayer lead improving box office. The weekend at movie theaters featured something not seen for a while, a genuine box office battle. Warner Brothers' Mortal Kombat reboot and the Japanese film Demon Slayer both vied for the top spot at the North American box office, with Mortal Kombat narrowly edging Demon Slayer. The R-rated Mortal Kombat earned an estimated $23 million, according to studio estimates, while Demon Slayer grossed $20 million. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, I'm Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Take time today to acknowledge your growth. Regularly take time to recognize the scope of your many accomplishments. What did you learn this year or in the past few months? How will you do better in the future? Intentionally contemplate your progress instead of languishing in your past mistakes. Look closely at your life to see how you can achieve your future goals. What do you do to bring yourself pleasure or have some fun? How do you show your joy throughout your day? Remind yourself of the insights you have learned through time. How is your life different now than in the past? We are all changing from day to day, month to month, and year by year. Create a list or keep a journal to list your strengths, weaknesses, and future plans. Make sure you include facts about how your future plans will come into existence. Your now moment is simply a reality you created through your choices, passions, and diligent work ethic. Today, congratulate yourself on your successes as you enjoy the day.
Brianna Barnes is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Recording artist Brianna Barnes joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her new single, Storyteller, and what it's been like for her to share her music with the world. Here's a bit of our conversation.
So let's talk about where we are now. I mean, here we are, enjoying a new year. It's hard to believe we're already in the second quarter of 2021. And you have this single, though, that has people talking Storyteller. What has it been like for you to see the response to it?
Oh, my gosh. It's just been such an answer to prayer, honestly. After the year that we've had, to be able to be a creative in New York City, where we've just seen such devastation to the arts and entertainment industry, and I myself being a part of that industry, being able to have the opportunity to create, and not only to create, but actually put something in people's ears that's hopefully giving them inspiration and hope. That's just such a blessing to me to be able to do it at this time in the middle of just, such challenge that we've had over these last couple months.
Yeah, for sure. So have you always known that music was that gift for you, Brianna, that you've been given?
Music has been a huge part of my life since I was a little girl. Both of my parents are musical. My mom is a professional pianist, and my father was a vocalist, and they both have spent many, many years in church ministry and music. So singing was always something that I loved to do. I grew up writing songs, participating in musical theater productions, community theater productions, acting, and writing has always been this space where I just feel like I can communicate in my own words just those hopes and fears and challenges, inspirations. But as an adult, I shifted to a focus of musical theater. That's what my life has been for the last 5 years here in New York City, pursuing Broadway, with writing sort of at the back burner. And it's been such an awesome opportunity in the midst of this pandemic to sort of bring that writing off of the back burner and to the front.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be back with you guys on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today a great one. Take care.